What's up everyone and welcome to Mordalon. In this series I'm playtesting my own game. But before we go on to try out the first raid, which is really exciting by itself, I have an exciting announcement. And that is that if you want to playtest the game alongside me, you can soon do that if you are a Patreon. So we will be opening for an alpha release really soon. So if you're interested, you can enter mordalon.com to read more about that. So basically you can play the game and leave us any feedback, and we will try to improve the game as much as we can before we do a beta release for everyone. And all feedback is really appreciated. It's going to help us a lot. One thing to note is that before the full game releases, we will wipe every account. So keep that in mind. You don't have to grind this game for hours and hours. But if you just want to try it out and give us feedback, that would be awesome. Before we enter the game, I just wanted to show you this new login screen, which I'm very happy about. This is of course one of the final things we do, because login hasn't been important before we had any players, but now it is. So yeah, simply pick your character and dive in. And if you've seen my series before, you recognize this account. We're an archer at level 11 and we're about to try out the first raid. So if we click on this sign, we can get a bit of information about this raid. It has a required level of 1, but a recommended level of 10. So what that means is basically that you could do this raid at any point, but it's balanced around level 10. But we want to be able to open up for players to be able to do cool challenges. If you want to do a YouTube video completing the raid at level 1, that will be really cool. But most players will probably be around the recommended level, I assume. We will see what happens. Here we have the combat difficulty, puzzle difficulty, and agility difficulty. So this is basically, do you have to dodge abilities, which you have to do here. So I'm actually going to change this right after this video to say 3. There is no puzzle in this one, and there is no agility. Agility means things like moving blocks or jumping over spikes or lava or anything like that. So this one will give you an inkling of what to expect. You can enter a party and do it together with a friend if you want, or you can just go solo, which is what we will do right now. Okay, so I'm trying something different here. I will do a voiceover instead of live commentary, so I can concentrate a bit on the gameplay and what I'm saying at the same time. So as you can see here, we have a very simple NPC, and that is by design. If I dodge the arrows here by moving back and forth, I won't take any damage at all. At first, this NPC had a pretty low HP, but we decided to give all the NPCs in this raid higher HP so that you get the time to practice your movement here. And that is the point. A new player don't necessarily know how to play a game like this. So we want to teach it in the easiest way possible. Even though we're calling this a raid, it doesn't have to be very hard or very long. We just want to introduce our mechanics and what we think a raid will look like. So a raid in the future will basically be the same concepts, but harder. And yeah, so here you can dodge everything, which goes really well with the required level of 1 but a recommended level of 10. So if you're skillful enough, you can do this raid without taking any damage. And as you can see here on the start of the second platform, I'm actually doing really good and dodging pretty much everything. But yeah, I started falling off after a bit. Again, I'm new to this game, as all of you will be. I am creating the game, which means I'm coding, I'm drawing. I'm not really, playing the game myself, except for trying out the new NPCs. So this is all very new to me as well. Yeah, so we're pretty much doing the same mechanics over and over. All the archers are the same, all the mages are the same, so that you can learn and then just practice with more and more arrows. And this is actually kind of funny. I accidentally moved back so that the left archer fell down, and that became a new official strat, as you can see here. I am dodging the arrows by just hiding under this block. I don't think we will go into the code and change things like this. If people find cool new mechanics, I want to let it be as much as possible if it isn't completely broken. So when we come to the boss over here, we have the same philosophy. We want to teach the player how the mechanics work, so I don't just want a brute force where he hits me for a lot of damage and I heal with all of the health potions I have. So this boss works in a way that if I block his shield bash, I will stun him. But if I don't block the ability, he will stun me and do a special attack which deals a lot of damage. So here I'm just demonstrating what that looks like. You can see both the block where he gets stunned and where I fail the block and I take a lot of damage. As an archer, you can just run around and dodge all the attacks. That works as a mechanic as well, and I think this raid is a bit easier if you are a mage or an archer, but you can do this with melee, of course. This is what it looks like when I actually complete the raid, and I actually got quite lucky on this one, so here's the live commentary from that. Oh my god. I got the item I needed. White tree bow. I think this is like, I think it's like 1 in 8 or something to get one item, and there's 3 items on the table. There's a sword, a staff, and a bow, and as I'm playing as an archer, I actually really lucked out there. So I think this might be like 1 in 24 to get this. Okay, so the first raid is completed, as you can see here, and this was meant to be an introduction to raids, so it's basically go from point A to point B with a boss at the end. That is the basic concepts, but as I mentioned, we have more raids and these are quite a bit more complicated. Not just the mechanics of the NPCs and bosses, but we also have agility puzzles like spikes, lava and such. And also like puzzles for your brain, so you have to think a bit how to complete those raids, which is pretty cool. I can't wait to show those. But if we click a raid here, we can get some information about it. This one is now marked green since I have completed it, and you can see red here is because I don't have the required level. And I can see my attempts 17, my completions 8, my latest time, my fastest time, so you can compete with your friends I guess if you want, and you can see my death count 5. So yeah, I'm not really gaming over here right now. And I can see the unique which I got, and I can see that there is 2 more which I can complete. And this was very lucky. I gotta try this bow out. This one is, I think, 3 times better than my current one. So plus 12, and the one I used here in the raid has plus 4. I have another bow, but it's also holy, so I don't really have a use anymore for that one since I now have this new one which I got from the raid. And I think it looks really cool. This is one of the few items I didn't create myself. My brother did this one, even though I do most of the arts. So that is always fun. Now I need to try it out on some NPCs. This one is holy and this is a holy bow. So if I try here, I only do 7 damage. I need to fight something cursed. But I wanted to show these NPCs anyway. I talked about them last video. These I can also just jump to dodge. So if I do it correctly, I won't take any damage at all. So our game will have a mix of these kinds of mechanics where sometimes I can dodge them and sometimes I have to take damage, because we don't really want players to be able to complete the entire game at level 1. That would be kind of weird. Also, another thing with hard level requirements is that it is quite intriguing. So if you try to enter this raid, you see that I need level 10. That is a motivation for me to go and get level 10 combat, and I won't really be able to complete this raid anyway if I'm level 5, most likely. At least for most players. Let's see what kind of damage I can do over here with this bow. 8. That is really 9. Oh my god, that's funny. Okay, that's dumb. Before we do the boss I teased in the previous video, I want to try this bow out, and I know exactly which content to do it with. This is the Scholar Missionary Knight, and he gives me bounty hunter tasks. So if you've played RuneScape and like Slayer, you're going to like this skill. It is pretty similar. I am level 1 bounty hunter. Is there anything I can do for you? Help the cause? I think yes. Okay, I want to fight for the cause. As a bounty hunter, you are tasked with defeating specific enemies. When you are done, return to the task giver for payment. The rewards include drops from the monsters killed, teleport crystals, and bounty hunter tokens for the bounty hunter shop. And I can show KC overlay, it's down here, and show hint arrow, that is if you don't know where the enemies are. So I can see here that I got zombies and I need to kill 25 of them, and I can see some stats here, how many I've killed and such. I really like this interface, it's really cool. Phenomenal decision. Your task will be to kill 25 zombies. Okay, let's do this. And I know exactly where they are, and I am excited to do some serious damage to them. And I am also excited to get another archery ability, and I know that they are dropped by the first boss, so we are going to go and kill that one after this. 10. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, they do serious damage as well. And I already have the bronze gloves. Okay, so when I hover the zombie, I can see that I've received every single drop from these. But I haven't killed these before. I think I killed one in a previous video, which means that maybe it's checked just because I have all the items and not necessarily that I got them from the zombies. So I will have to take a look at the code to see what's wrong there. I just realized something. I think I have a pill. Let's swallow that one. There we go. Archer level 12. Nice. I got it from the raid. You will probably get XP rewards for almost all raids, especially if they have a lot of like agility and puzzles, because we don't want you to feel like if I go and do a raid, I get lesser experience than if I'm just killing zombies, or if they are very hard to complete. So I don't want you to be there and failing a boss 5 times and getting no experience. So when you finally kill the boss or finish the raid, I want you to get an XP reward, so it doesn't feel like, oh, I shouldn't be raiding, I should go kill zombies instead. If you do high level PVM, I want you to get high experience rates as well. So let's see, I have disposed of the zombies as requested. Glorious, well done, here's your reward. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I get some items and I get some bounty hunter tokens. And that didn't work. So we did make a change here. You used to get them as an item, but now we have currencies. So I should get them here and not into my inventory. I got null instead and no tokens, so that has to be fixed. Okay, so I just got myself a new task of 37 iron-wielding skeletons. These are quite a bit higher level than the regular skeletons, so I do need to refill my health pots before we go into the dungeon. But while we're doing the long run over there, because I am out of teleports, I think this will be a good place to end this video. And in the next one, I will be showing you the first boss, which is one of my favorite bosses for some reason. So I am excited to show you that. So if you like this video and want to see more, feel free to subscribe. And if you want to try the game yourself, check out mordalon.com.